Tottenham till I die, Spurs die hard. Tottenham till I die. Tottenham till I die. Tottenham till I die. Spurs die hard. Tottenham till I die. Tottenham till I die, Spurs die hard. Tottenham till I die.
Hello and welcome to the regular Sunday edition of Spurs Die Hard's TTID, Tottenham Till I Die. Tonight we shall be discussing the Wolves game at home and a few other things that I've got banners written up for. We're waiting for I'm sure Callum will be joining us shortly. At the moment I've got Kev here with a regular friend of the show. How are you, Kev?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks, Adrian. Still sort of got post-match blues, I suppose, and Europe trying to throw away the Ryder Cup as well. It's not been a great Sunday. Bit wet as well from something I did earlier in the afternoon. But there we go.
Okay. So we'll start then. Post-match Wolves as we've got the team. We were both at the game yesterday, weren't we? So what was your views when you saw the team?
Yeah, I mean, it was you're sort of thinking this is probably, maybe with Porro for Spence, probably the strongest team. I know there's been lots of debate about the midfield and whether you need Bentancur or Pellegrini in there at the start in home games like this. But all in all, with the injuries that are there, then it was probably the team that most were expecting. So say giving Porro a rest, not a bad idea.
Yeah, he played 50 games last year, didn't he? I mean, Kula was next with about 40 before he got injured. So, yeah, but we should, we'll see them back before the new year anyway. Yeah, I mean, my take on it, I mean, I couldn't fault the lineup. We will discuss the Polina Bentancur pivot, but so it's, to me, it's as solid as a lineup with who's fit that we can pick. So. And look, we are where we are with the squad, so we're going to have to. Frank's just going to have to try and get the best out of it and make it function much better. So on to the subs. 4 strikers on here. I mean, you got Odobert, Tell, Scarlett, and Johnson. Yeah,
it was probably it would be the subs you expect. I mean, unless they thought that one of the youngsters from the midweek game could have come in there, but in essence it's what we've got left, isn't it? In there, and it's a shame that we've only got one real centre forward there that can come on, Scarlett, and so yeah, it's not a bad bench, is it? But there's a little lack of inspiration there, because we're missing the Madisons and the Kulus and whatever, because that would then, if they were in the team or if they were on the bench, then it gives that bench just that little bit more, doesn't it? But at the moment, there's no one there that you're thinking, they can come on and change the game, in essence. Although, to be fair, they did at the end.
Although it's more hope with the bench. They're not bad, but there's too many work in progresses on that bench as well. I mean, so as far as I'm concerned, just going to say hello to a few in the chat. Hi, Anita. Big up. Good friend of the show. She's saying we didn't lose something. It was really purely Frank bashing day. Tell got time off. Come on, you Spurs. Media policy, it's okay. We didn't buy left wingers. Xavi can play there. Well, yes, he proved me wrong. Yeah, we'll come on to that. I think there's been a lot of reactions because of the result. Brian, big up Brian, real life friend. We've both put this. We've just put the Discord server up for you guys. So any of you watching later on playback, I'm going to put the link in the channel. Well, I'll do it now. And if you want to come on the show at all, the easiest way to do it without you compromising your situation whilst exchanging phone numbers, because then we need to add you to the WhatsApp group. Because then once we've got your names in WhatsApp, then we can message you to come on the show. So we've got 20 in there now at the moment, which has only been up, about 3 days, I think, Kevin. You came on quite early. I think it's only been going about 3 days. So it's not bad. I'm not expecting it to grow exponentially and overnight, So, but it's handy for getting people on the show. And it's also very handy if you're south of the equator, you've got voice chat on there and you can use your camera. And with Discord, all you got to do is download it with a username and your email, and you're ready to go. And then the link can be sent to you. And then all you've got to do is say, send us the link and we'll send you the link. Yeah. And we're going to try and build a community there as well of not just Spurs fans and, sensible guests are fans of other clubs as well, So,
are there any sensible guests?
Yeah. So back on track. So we are Spurs. Yeah. Left winger. Yeah. Brian, real life friend, fellow bricklayer like we were back in the day. Well, like I was back in the day. Neat high panel and chat. We smile and move on. We got 20 of you viewing us on various platforms, which is good. But I'm going to go back to the banners now. We did the substitutes. So we'll move on to the game, Kev. I mean, 27 minutes offside goal. It was a lovely work goal to be offside, though.
Yeah. It was. I mean, we were dead. We're dead in line with the. With it there, and both me and Tom were both a match. We knew it was offside before it even hit the ball, so we didn't celebrate. But it was a great little move, nice little back heel from Bergvall. Just a shame that Kudos had run too early, perhaps, and he finished it well. To give him his due, he finished it well.
Yeah, it won't take me long to go through the game. The reason I do the synopsis is there are people on this planet who don't get to see the game, so it just gives them an idea of the tone of the game. This is why it won't take long. 32 minutes, Simmons got a yellow card. And then we move straight to the second half. We're going to go me and Kev will talk about our view of the game after we've done the synopsis. Right? 54 minutes, 0-1, header parried by Vicario. From that volley, he did quite well to parry it, actually. But the ball came out and hits Polina, and then Santiago Bueno scrambled the ball home. And it was a messy goal, and it was like, when games go like that in the first half, you sort of smell it coming, Kev, don't you?
Well, you do, but I mean, yeah, you say it was a different. I thought he could have caught that bloody, but he didn't need a parry. It was going so softly towards him, and he parried it the wrong way. Really, I was a bit unlucky it hit Polina, maybe, but yeah, it was, and that sort of then made Vicario go back to his. His norm and his clearances became terrible, passing around. But leading up to that goal, and this is the point I was making after the game, just before the goal, Romero hit that stupid free kick across the face of the goal, which almost got cut out. And then he haired off upfield, trying to redeem his mistake. He haired off upfield, and he was right up the front. And when the ball came back, he was nowhere to be seen. And it was Bentancur who had to be playing centre half, who headed it out for the corner that led to the goal.
Yeah.
So for me, it all came down to Romero and that stupid free kick. It was immensely frustrating.
Evening, Callum. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Sorry about that. I was on my phone to my parents. They are stranded in knee-deep water in a monsoon at the moment in Greece.
All right.
Yeah, bloody hell.
We're going to do I'm doing a synopsis of the game, which I do for people who probably didn't see the game on this planet or whatever. I always do it to give them a tone of how the game went. And then afterwards, we'll go through our individual perspectives of the game. So on 62 minutes, Johnson for Bentancur. On 63, Porro for Spence. On 65, Bergvall got a yellow card. He's got a habit of He's got a bit of bite. He's got a habit of picking up yellow cards, guys.
It was a silly yellow card as well. It was another one where he was running all over the place in this game, and he ran from the left-hand side of the pitch to the right-hand side of the pitch to make the tackle. And he didn't need to make the tackle like he did. He could have. The guy was going nowhere, and it was a silly yellow card to get. And it was obvious after that he'd probably be subbed because there was too much chance of him getting another one.
Well, they sub Mac Doherty and then their number 8 because they both got bookings. Yep. And I thought, and I was saying at the time, I know it's ruthless, but it's a dark arts. Play it down on Mac Doherty and goes. Keep playing it down here. Make him put a bad challenge in. You know, you got to try every way you can to win a game. 78 minutes, Saarberg for Odeberg for Simmons. 84 minutes, tell for you, Doggy. I'm going to give Frank due. He is pretty proactive like that. And then we get to where we breathe a sigh of relief. 90 plus 4. Actually, it was a Tell cross that came into Star, who definitely laid it back for playing at score on a far corner. I thought it was a very good goal when I see it from mine right down the other end of the ground. When I see it on the highlights, it looks even better. It's a lovely finish, wasn't it, Callum? Lovely finish.
Yeah, no, it was a good one, to be fair. I mean, I only watched the highlights of the game. I watched part of the first half, but then I ironically had started drinking quite heavily by then. To be honest, I had a couple of mates over and I started having some drinks. But yeah, it was a very nice taken goal. And I mean, he's got to be one of our top scorers now this season, isn't he? That's how it is at the moment. He's got about 3 goals now. So I mean,
he'd be on par with Richarlison. I hate to say it.
And Mr. Own goal as well. He's quite high up, isn't he?
Oh, exactly. That's the thing. I mean, it was a nice team goal, but it was the only sort of good bit of action we had in the second half.
We're going to come to that. I'm going to give you the stats first, and we talk about individual parts of the game, which have, got my juices flowing. Let's being nice, that is. So, possession, we had 51% there, 49. I thought they were the better team anyway.
Ridiculous.
Shots on target 3 each. Total 10-9, 10-9. Corners 10-9. Offsides 2, none of them. Clearances 18 for us, 40 for them, which you'll see it in the crosses really. Interceptions 11-10. Passes very close. Crosses 32-16. This is why you see we had our 32-16. This is why you can see like they had 40 clearances. Believe it. Fouls 9-11, aerial duels 150. Right, okay. That's the general stats. We are putting a lot more crosses into games under Frank, I must admit. But Callum, we gave the ball away far too easily. Positional play, movement, finding space, an issue.
Yeah, definitely something to be worked on, to be honest. We tried to keep playing quick passes yesterday, but they weren't quick, accurate passes. They were just a quick turnover in play by the end of it, from what I saw. And realistically, when you want to play a quick pass, you need to have someone making the runs. And I don't think after 45 minutes, we're like up to about 35 minutes, we were making decent runs. A lot of stuff was going on down that left-hand side. I didn't see enough of that afterwards. And sort of Wolves were very good at blocking us out. They were man-for-man marking. They were zonal marking as well. They had the right balance between it. So no, I think this game's crying out for something different, not playing 2 defensive-minded midfielders, to be honest.
Yeah, I think this that as well. We will come on to that. What's your take on it? And I'll give my take off this, Kev.
Yeah, we did. I mean, the passing wasn't brilliant. I forgot the passing stats of how many are accurate or whatever. But what we were yelling at Kudos, especially when he was on our side, was he's waiting for the ball to come to his feet so he can then try and dribble around 3 people, whereas there's lots of space in behind him. And if he was making those runs that would, encourage the fullbacks and the centre halves to play the ball down to him so he can run onto them rather than getting to feet all the time and then being crowded out by 3 players around him, he might get a bit more juice. It seemed to be working down the left-hand side a bit better in the second half than the right-hand side. And of course, Kudos and Johnson changed sides when Johnson came on, so there's a bit of moving around. and Simmons in the first half and the start of the second half, he wasn't really getting too much. I didn't think, and there was a little bit of movement and positional play. We seem to be lacking in the middle of midfield again, and I think that that comes down to what we're all going to be talking about: Bentancur and Polina at the same time in there. There's big holes in the middle of the pitch. It's trying. Bergvall was all over the place again, which is great. I mean, his engine is fantastic. But when they're pressing with Bergvall and Richarlison, Bergvall's further forward on the press than Richarlison is. And then he has to chase back as well to get back into position. And Richarlison does his normal sort of slow jog back to the centre line. He's been very frustrating. It was a very frustrating game. I think all in all.
Yeah, to me, I mean, like, all right, you can have a bad day passing, your touch can desert you sometimes, and you can be poor on a day, fair enough. But then positional play and movement for me. Why aren't players coming for the ball? Why aren't they looking at moving into space? Especially the front three, who tend to be static most of the time. You get the odd run by Bergvall running across the front three, and then you're hoping that Romero's going to find him each time, or someone's going to find him each time. And then, like, you can understand a player's frustration if the ball doesn't come his way when he's made a run. Son used to have that problem all the time, right? Yeah. But where's the space? I mean, my issue is, I remember years ago when Spurs used to play a lot of five-a-side football. They trained that way, always renowned as a football inside. But you would get overloads by doing that. If you had someone like Perriman and Pratt and Coates in your midfield and they're running together, they're running almost as a straight line. And one would run in front of the others, and someone would be ready to receive the ball and all this. But here, there's too big a gap between the midfield and the front three in these games. You see it when we start to set up. You see the front three pushed up, and the midfield pivot sitting very close, a lot closer to the back four. And now you've got to put a good forward ball forward to one of your forwards, or this is where we lack a ball carrying number 8, really, don't we?
Yeah, or there was no one in the middle who wanted to take it on, because Bergvall can carry the ball, but he was probably too far forward to be receiving the ball to then push it forward. It was just it's hard to say.
To be fair, I know where you're coming from, Kev, because if just say Richarlison was there and he could actually hold up a ball, then that's where you could turn the outlets on for Simmons, for Kudus, and for Bergvall to make them runs from sort of midway to deep. But realistically, what did Richarlison do yesterday? I don't honestly think there's a lot of huffing and puffing, a lot of low strolls, and I feel that since that sort of Man City game, everyone was raving about him against Brighton last week. I thought he was really pants. He didn't do anything. Over. Well, yeah, but the thing is, he can fall over, but he don't get any fouls, or he don't win free kicks, and he don't win penalties at all. It was very weak from him, and I would have rather have probably seen Johnson or Tell up top, because I think at least they would have been an outlet. Richarlison was, if anything, a passenger yesterday, and we couldn't turn stuff. This kind of leads into the finding space. Richarlison hogs space, but does nothing with it, and our players have no outlet to play. So he's not going to make a run like Son would through the middle. He's not making any outlet for it. Bergvall's too far forward. Paulinho and Bentancur are too deep. So then you've got a gap of, say, like 60 yards in between, and Kudus and Simmons were getting marked out of the game. So what outlet did we honestly have yesterday for it?
And with Richarlison as well, he's not a striker that makes things happen. You have to lay it on a plate for him, basically. It's either got to be the cross where he can get his head to, or all right, he gets a wonder volley goal, overhead scissors kick, or whatever. But okay, I'd rather him get 5 or 6 tap-ins. You know what I mean? Also, he hasn't got a striker's instinct in the box at all.
He's not a striker. I had this debate with someone earlier. They went, "Oh, Gyökeres is crap as a number 9," and then they went, "Well, he's still better than our number 9." I was like, Richarlison's not a number 9. He is not a number 9, and he's literally just filling the gap. Because I think if Solanke or Mawani comes back, he will be either pushed out to the left or dropped as an impact sub because he is not what we need. And
I
we've been
don't-
saying this for 3 seasons now.
Yeah, I don't think he's got a future at this club. If they can get rid of him in January, they will. I mean, I'd even recall Lancashire has got 3 goals in 7 games. I mean, I'd even give Scarlett a game, but maybe in training Frank because he didn't. Go on.
To be fair, I watched Scarlett live Friday night at Stevenage, and I can see why no one wants him. He's very, very lackadaisical and lazy now. He is not. He made West Brom's under 21s look good, and they're awful. They are bottom of their table out of 24 clubs, and Scarlett did nothing in there. He was meant to be feeding Williams Barnett, or Williams Barnett was meant to be feeding him, and Scarlett was just huffing and puffing. It looked like having Richarlison on the pitch. That's how bad it was.
Okay. Well, we've got a friendly Wolves fan here, obviously, because definitely our best performance of the season. Andre and something were brilliant, but have no clue how he's keeping Hwang Hee-Chang in our team. Fair enough, mate. Welcome to the podcast, mate. Anyway, we don't mind any other fans in here as long as they keep it, as long as they're mature and sensible.
To be fair, Wolves fans are pretty decent, to be fair. Yeah. Every single Wolves fan I've come across have been sound, to be honest. So big up to the lads on that one.
Yeah, they're all right on the trains. Just as a side, will Europe have just retained the Ryder Cup by the skin of their teeth?
And we won the Women's Rugby World Cup as well, so Canada.
Yeah, I know the Ryder Cup took them long enough, didn't it? We should have had it wrapped up hours ago.
Should have only just scraped it.
A few comments there, Nita. One thing is we don't throw out the ball quicker, something that has bugged me for time, me as well. Where is Ian? I hope he is well. Ian went to a Simply Red concert because he's holding back the years, I think. Yeah. So I don't know what time we'll be back or whether he'll make a late appearance. I shouldn't have thought so. Saved before the bell. Yeah, exactly. 94. You know, well done, Paulinia. Yeah. He looks a good loan. Sign him up in January. Pay the money. I know his face, just pay it. It was a 9 game. Who scores? I don't care. Throw out the ball quicker. Yeah. Ryan's here. He's a Wolves fan as well. Big up, Ryan. Well, you got a point, Ryan. I mean, I know you're probably gutted. You lost 2. I would be if I was a Wolves fan. Virus playing is basically playing with 10. Okay. So, Virus, Ryan obviously not keen on your man, right?
Balances off our Richarlison.
Yeah. Colin, big up, Colin. And he's a regular on the podcast scene, Colin. Right, good evening. Let's go down to Nita. A few more to go through. Midfield's going to click. We're going to talk about that, Nita, in a minute, actually. Right, big up, everyone. Big up, Jimmy, regular on the show. Yeah, okay. Right, let me go back to the banners. What's the next one? Yeah. Well, I might combine to lack of midfield creativity, guys. I mean, in a squad of 25 in the Premier League now, it's my take before I pass it over to you two. I want 8 midfielders. Now, I know they say 2 in every position in the league, but when you've got 2 in every position, you've got 22. When you've got the extra goalkeeper, you've got 23. That leaves you 2 extra positions. I want them in midfield. I want 8 instead of 6 midfielders in a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. I want 8. You pick up more bookings in midfield usually, right? Because it's the engine room of any team. So you need to cover. And we are lacking in midfield. I mean, a few shows I've listened to recently, Sav was early, I was listening to his show and others and all that. And like, I couldn't agree with them more. I mean, we haven't got a ball carrying 8. We've got good young players in Saar, you know, Bergvall, Gray. I want to see Gray play as many games in midfield as Bergvall has, and then fans will see what a player is. But the problem is, apart from the 2 experienced players, you'd say in Paulina and Bentancur, who used to drive us up the field before his ACL. Remember at Chelsea when he scored and all that? He was always driving the team upfield. Now, I don't know if he's been told to play with a bit more restraint now or not. We don't know. I ain't going to knock Frank because I think he's done really well in his tenure. I mean, at this point, we lost 2 points. It felt more like a defeat, the 1-1 draw. To me, it did. Yeah. Right? So I'd rather, and we need more experience in midfield because Paulina and Bentancur can't play every game. And I think we need to bring in. I mean, I know Decky will be back in the new year, but he's versatile as well. He can play in midfield or wide right if we need to. Because like, who's competition for Kudus on the right? Unless it's Johnson. So it's nice to have more competition. So, what's your take on our midfield guys? I mean, we don't have enough. I just don't think we have enough.
I mean, when we look at numbers, what we've got: Paulinia, Bentancur, Sarr, Bergvall, Gray. Are we classing tens as midfielders, or are we putting them in the forward line? That's the question.
Yeah. I mean, that what we've got now for what we're saying, that part of the midfield, that the non-creative, the lack of midfield creativity. Well, basically, Simmons has shown glimpses. I mean, he's a quality player, no two ways about it. He's shown glimpses. We've yet to see him at his best. I'm sure we will, but we need more. We need more, though, don't we?
The thing is, if we're working on the principle that a 10 comes under a midfielder and the two wingers and the striker is our front line, then so we've got Gray, Bentancur, Paulinia, Bergvall, Simmons, Kulusevski, Maddison. If we're working on numbers alone, so we have the numbers there, but we've got two out, and then theoretically we've still got Basuma. We're still stuck with him. So Frank said that he would realistically be integrated back. So he can do the ball carrying role. It's just he can't get himself sorted as a person to be the player that we all know he can be. It's like Colin said on the chat. The midfield on paper is brilliant, but it's about what's in there. And I thought, like, just say yesterday, I thought that realistically, Gray probably deserved to start that game, to be honest, if anything, based on how good he was against Doncaster. I know it's 2 leagues below, but he was making them runs that Bergvall was making. So maybe if you'd have played Bergvall, Gray, Paulinia, that would have worked. But I don't really see Paulinia, Bentancur and someone else working. Paulinia and Bentancur are both trying to do the same things in there. That's where we are. So the numbers are there. It's just about the level of what they're going to play at. And if they do it well, then we're good. But yesterday cried out for energy. That's what I'm thinking. It needed energy in there. And we saw that Sarr being involved at the end was like he inputted that energy in there. I just think Paulinia and Bentancur, even though Paulinia scored and has been good, I don't think he adds a lot of energy into midfield, if you get what I mean. I think we need energetic players around them, especially with a team like Wolves who are going to play a low block and close out all your space. You need to have plenty of runners, plenty of energy around there. Yeah, I mean, Jimmy, you're probably not wrong. There is questions over it, but on paper, there are very good players in there. It's just about Frank joining them together now. And realistically, I think that Simmons needs to be moved into the middle. I like Bergvall playing a sort of 8 to 10, but I think if you're going to play him, then you've got to play Paulinia, Bergvall, Simmons sort of thing, and then have another outlet, because we're expecting Simmons to cut in from the left and become a creative 10 as well. It's not really working at the moment, is it, realistically?
Bentancur was one of my favourite midfielders before I had the ACL. I still like the player. I mean, you know, he was great. Brentford away 2-0 was great in the last 3 away games in Europe. You know, he was good. All right. When he plays well, Meths was down about when he plays well, the team plays well. And all that. But before that ACL injury, he was driving us up the pitch. Do you remember that was part of his game? And I thought, I like that.
I remember at City, one of his first games as well, he was dominating. And that's where I think he's maybe eased off a little bit. And that's why I think he's more of a deeper player now, not a driving forward player, because probably he is afraid of doing his hamstrings. Remember, we had it with Sessegnon and all that. How many times did we want him to bomb forward and then it would always go wrong? Realistically, these players are being instructed how to do something. And we know that he is a class player. He has a brilliant pass in him when he wants to. He can be a nasty player to play up against, but even he has a habit of a headless moment of he seems to get more yellow cards now, Benson Cord, to be fair. He can get frustrated during games, and maybe him and Paulinho need to switch in that anchor role sort of thing at the deeper end of midfield now, based on the way that he is.
Yeah, I think I'm not disagreeing with anything anyone said here really, but it is getting that right meld of if we're having 3 players in midfield, because we're not playing 4-4-2 really, are we? It's getting that right meld of players, isn't it? There to work together well, and I think he's still experimenting a little bit. But I think most people would say a home game like this, you shouldn't really have Bentancur and Polina in the same team.
I'm going to come to that.
Too many, too defensive, isn't it? In that respect, people might say, "Oh, we haven't got anyone else to go in there," but we have.
It was very one-sided. It was very one-sided, wasn't it? Like very bottom heavy.
I want to stay with that, Kev, and you, Callum. You both comment on this because, like, I've seen this. I've been listening. I always listen to other podcasts. I like to get the fans' general feeling out there. One of Paulina Bentancur to start home games, but are we overacting a bit? We haven't had. I mean, I know we haven't looked great football-wise, in my opinion, but we're doing okay in the league, right? Are we just being reactionary because are we being reactionary just because we're not seeing the football we want to see? Is that to mean that like the Paulina Bentancur pivot can't work in games?
I don't know. I mean,
in front of them, we have
our last 2 home league games have been poor.
Yeah, they have. And we've been there, right?
Bournemouth and Wolves, and we've been poor in both games.
Yeah.
Are we talking Prem games, Kev?
Yeah, Prem games. I'm talking Prem games.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't at Doncaster. I didn't see the Doncaster game. I was at the Villarreal game. But so it and for the home fans coming, and it is frustrating. I'm not saying I don't think we don't really care if we're winning, if it's really flair football or anything like that. But when you're not winning, then it gets sort of doubly frustrating, doesn't it? That we're not winning. Plus, we don't think we're playing the correct football either for Spurs. So you get doubly frustrated down there. But does he need to be a bit more enterprising, perhaps in the lineups that he picks for this, and be a bit more flair-minded, or is he trying to solidify the game? And because he always says, "I've got to start from the back and work forwards." Well, the back's pretty settled, isn't it? Even though we haven't let in a lot of goals, but it is very frustrating at the moment. We're not creating that bit in the midfield.
Callum, do you think what Kev alludes to? Because I'm inclined to think this way, that Frank is being a bit reserved as he's settling into the job. It's only 5-6 games we've played, right? And he probably realises he's got issues. He's not got a settled strike force. So, and he's tinkered a bit with it. Do you think he's being reserved, and that's why he's doing this with Polina and Bentancur, maybe?
I don't think he's being reserved. I think he's having common sense, because looking at how we were last year and the back end of the year before, we was leaking goals more than an overflowing toilet, realistically. And we had to make something happen. And we've got more clean sheets this season so far than we did in the whole of last year, I think, in the Premier League. And that's saying something. And we're only, 6 games in. So I know it can all go wrong from now, but realistically, he is building up from the base of the team. Because last year we didn't have problems scoring goals. We could score goals for fun. We had problems keeping them out. So I think he's gone with the right way about it. And we're still scoring a goal per game. It's only 1 game that we haven't scored in. It's just, I think, getting the balance right now.
And you gave me this banner to put up, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at our results, actually, I mean, we're still entitled to critique game play, considering we haven't played great. We're sitting quite nicely in the league at the moment.
We are scoring a minimum of 1 goal a game. apart from the Bournemouth game, where we were completely devoid of ideas and we were absolutely useless, but we're still scoring a goal per game. We've got a result against Brighton where last year we either would have capitulated and gone, i.e., 2-0 up and lose 3-2,
3-2.
or we would have lost that game completely. Well, we've got 2 games of fight back in the Premier League, which I want to see, because that shows determination and guts. Because Ange never showed that to me. We never recovered from losing positions hardly ever under him. So we've done that. So we've got 2 more points in results than we would have got last year already. To be honest, I'd rather take 2 points than lose 6, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
The Villarreal game,
sure.
the Villarreal game was awful against the Yellow Submarine, but we dealt with it. I think
this comes from the grit and mentality you get from actually winning a trophy. I've experienced this before a lot more than you guys have. When we've won stuff and gone on, and the belief it gives players and all that, even the young players and all that. And we seem to be sticking it in there. We're resolute, but naturally the fear is like, are we going to keep this up if we don't get this? If we don't click.
Even from playing poor games, because I think the only game that I would say we were definitely brilliant in was either the City or Burnley game, the first 2. The rest of these, we've ground out results. West Ham using set pieces, enforced an own goal against Villarreal. Brighton, a good comeback, but we should have probably won that, so we were still lacking. Doncaster we was okay against, but we should be beating them. And Wolves, realistically, we lost to them, I think, last year, didn't we?
Yeah.
So
they've been our bogey team for the last 5 years, really.
Yeah, I think 22 was the last time we beat them. And that was at their ground. I think was that the Vertonghen header late in the game?
Yeah, the Kane.
So realistically, if
go on, you got muted. Callum.
I think he's frozen.
I'll just go through the chat while he's frozen. Then, yeah?
Oh, he's back again.
You're back again.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so we're still 3 points off Liverpool on the title, or 4 points, something like that. So we're still third. Arsenal winning today was a freak of nature, as always. They seem to always scrape the bottom of the barrel to get through. We're still in the next round of the Cup. Yes, we've got a tough game against Newcastle. We got through a stage, whereas last year I think we went out to Fulham or something like that. We went out to Wolves the year before that. And yes, we can be frustrated. And yes, Frank will always have this pragmatic way of doing it. But we don't want suicide football anymore, do we? We want to see this pragmatic football where we are not all sitting there going to have a heart attack and all that from one slip up in midfield. We are so much better, I think, the way that we look at the moment. And there's a lot of people that call me a happy clapper and saying all that, but I'm so much more comfortable watching Spurs this year than I am last year. And this is only the start. So definitely, I think we've got to be more positive. And so many fans, there was a load of fans today calling for Frank's job. I'm just like, are you lot delusional?
Yeah.
You are reacting. You are, considering that Amorim should go, there's the Wolves manager should have been sacked and he signed a new deal. Potter has only just gone. There is so many other managers that should go in the Premier League. Why the hell should Frank go? There's no logic or point to it, to be honest. And I think it's our fan base. Not all fans, but a lot of fans are literally. There we go as well. Forest fans want Ange gone as well. So literally, they've got a problem from us as well. So I think people just need to remain patient. But because we're so reactionary, we're just going to get this crap every single time. But I would rather draw a game and get 1 point than lose all 3. Because we never got draws, did we? It was either a win or a lose last year.
Very seldom, yeah. I mean, you're saying you're not getting the... Vicario was reverting to type a little bit yesterday after the goal went in, and the short passing was going out, and it was becoming nervous in the ground when he was getting the ball and passing it, and then he sliced 2 clearances straight out of play and things like this. He didn't have a good game. He didn't have a lot to do. Apart from the goal, but he didn't have a good game, and he was getting the fan base nervous again, I think.
I mean, the way that it is with him, I think by the end of the season, Kinski will be challenging, if not, will be the first team keeper by the end of the year, I reckon. He's not ready yet.
Well,
he needs more games, but Vicario needs to sort his problems out, or he's going to be out.
That'll be a wait and see, because look, I think we are 6 games into the season, what it is. I mean, and I usually do a bit of an evaluation at Christmas time, and then at the end of the season, I do it for the players, and we'll probably do a show on it anyway at Christmas time. And we do an evaluation at the end of the season, because it's still very early in the season. It's still very early in the season. A lot can happen. Right? Big up to Jess from Leeds. We wanted to get Jess on actually, because we got you away, Jess, if you're listening, as you know, as our next league game before the international break. And if you want an omen, Jess, we lose all our games before the international break. We lost about the last 7 or 9. And another strange quirk of fate is every time we go away and beat Man City, who won the top 3 teams in the Premier League, we've got a fantastic record against, the best record against. We always lose the following game. We seem to win the hard ones, lose the easy ones. Oh, well, there are no easy games. Let's be fair, though. There aren't any. So, big up to Jess and the Leeds crowd. Yeah, so moving down. Jimmy Hotspot, evening, Jess. Jess is saying evening, Jimmy. Hi, Jess. Yeah, she's got a big channel, Jess. Nita saying hello. Ryan as well. More worried about our 4 players. Aren't we all, Nita? We're going to come on to that. Good question, Jimmy. Good question.
At the moment, no.
Yeah, I'd have to say no. Didn't we draw? Yeah, we did. Yeah, we stamped the place out because we were concentrating on Europe. I'm doing okay. We ain't hot yet. Debatable, Nita, on whether our midfielder doing well. Ryan, Wolves fan. Yeah, he looked a bit jittery. At times he looks jittery, doesn't he? And other times he'd pull off those fantastic saves. Yeah, we won the Ryder Cup and we won the World Cup in rugby as well at Twickenham yesterday. The Women's World Cup in rugby, that is. All right, Brett, how are you? Like coming for it? Yeah. Okay. Go through these. Don't be a turncoat. Evening audio, how are you? Right, back to the banners. Yeah. Okay. Guys, this drives me nuts. Right? Kev, slow ball and Divering in possession. Drives me.
I say every time, I think. For me, he tried to do it to try to play a few passes this time, and everyone say he's got a great pass, Romero, but he slows everything down for me. But then everyone was slowing everything down yesterday, I think. But I always, the ball goes to Romero, and 9 times out of 10 he'll stand on it, wait for someone to try and make a run, and then pass it to Van der Ven. He'll pass it back to him, and then we'll do it again. But even when people start making the runs, he's not always playing the ball through. And he tried it 2 or 3 times yesterday. I don't think one of them came off. In those a couple to Bergvall and then out to Kudus as well. But it does seem that we just don't want to progress the ball fast. We are being slow again, coming back to it. But I know it's just not Romero's fault. And people say there's no movement in front of him and things like that. But the ball, sometimes when there's big spaces out wide, and people, either people aren't shouting for the ball, or the guys aren't looking up and seeing where the spaces be. I know it's a lot easier for us up in the stands to see where the space is probably than it is down on the pitch. But someone he's got to move a bit faster than it does at the moment.
Yeah, the player's line of sight is different, though. I am a big fan, Romero. What's your take on on a ball pressure. It's not just with Moreira, though, is it, Callum?
No, I think it's all of them are capable of divering, to be honest. I think the forwards, we've said that Richarlison divers on the ball so much. Spencer and Udogie weren't too bad for it yesterday, to be honest. They did try to make stuff happen. And then when Porro came on, he wasn't too bad. But I think Simmons, with European football, he's a little bit slower maybe than I'd like at the moment with releasing the ball. Bergvall likes to hold on to the ball and run with it, and he gets a lot of turnovers. Same with Bentancur as well. So I think we're very much culpable of our own mistakes. And actually, Kudus is one of the most annoying ones for it. He divers, I think, because he could make passes a lot quicker. And I know he's very creative, and I know he tries to release the ball, but there's certain runs he makes where I think realistically he could either pass it into midfield or pass it quicker, not just taking it on his man and getting either run into a corner, because he's got a little bit of an air of Lucas Moura about him, to be honest. That's one of my takes from the last 6 games, that he does have the sort of idea to run straight into a corner and then work out all the way out. Because he'll try and he does beat his man. Don't get me wrong, but it's pure strength that he uses. He knocks them out of the way, but I think that does make him slow to turn over a bit as well.
What we were frustrated with Kudos yesterday was that he was waiting for the ball to come to him rather than looking for the ball to be knocked over him into the space where he could run onto it. Because as you say, he can beat the man, but then he's usually got at least 2 on him. And they tend to crowd him out a lot, and occasionally you get through them, and something will happen. But it needs to be happening a lot more. And I think obviously he had new partners as his full backs as well yesterday. On both, he had Spence to start off with, and then he was on with Udogie, and they all changed around. Porro came on, and everything changed around quite a bit, and he went into the centre of the field as well, didn't he? So it is getting. It's the same as the midfield. It's getting that meld of players right, and the people who understand each other going forward know what the guy's going to do. Because you got that with Porro and Kulu or something like you knew what the other one knew what they were going to do, and they could run off of them. But at the moment, they're not. There's some frustrated runners going beyond Kudos, and he's not playing the ball, as you say. He's not playing the ball quick enough, and there was Spence got really, really annoyed with him at one point, early in the second half. But there we go.
Callum, going to ask you this question, and then I'm going to get myself a drink. This includes the fullbacks, right? Why isn't it coming up?
You need to get rid of the comment.
Get rid of the chat. Get rid of the comments.
No, but normally it comes over after the comment. Anyway. It's come up now, and I didn't do anything. Wide players, now I'm including the fullbacks now, and woeful decision making. Right? Loads of crosses into the box, but there are other opportunities when we should be getting the ball in there quicker. And what I'm hinting at is like, even with Kudus, there's times he cuts back too much. You should try and win a corner and take the player on and get to the byline. That's what I'm talking about.
It's either that or playing a ball across the ground. That's what I'd like to see a little bit, like a whipped ball in there, not a over-floated ball. So, yeah, I mean, it's not wrong because, I mean, we know Udogie can put it across. We know Spence can put it across. We know Kudus can. We know Simmons can. But they played the wrong balls yesterday. That's the thing. And we're playing a ball up in the air, and blinking Wolves have got big centre-backs. So it's literally just hitting them on the top. And it's really, really frustrating. And if we'd have played it along the floor, you can skin Matt Doherty as easy as you like. You just run at him and he gets tongue-tied and all that. But that's who we should have gone at yesterday. We should have made that quick run on the outside and put the ball across. Make Richarlison run for it not just keep trying to put it on his blinking head. And I don't know whether this is Frank or I don't know whether this is the players that are just doing it, but the use of crosses, you've got to use all different types of crosses, whereas a lot of our crosses seem to be a floated ball at the moment, either to the near post or the far post, nothing in the middle, if you get what I mean. It just needs to happen. And something that Brett just posted in there, Adrian, the comment before this as well, we pass the ball back to the back line too often. That's very valid. And it was apparent in the under-21s game Friday night as well. They love playing themselves into problems around the back line. We're not quick enough with it. We're all lackadaisical, and this is being caught in possession as well. Because if you think, if we're playing around the back line, we're reducing it, we're bringing our forward players back in. Whereas if we're pushing the line up, then we'll be able to get proper crosses in there. But because we're faffing about at the back and doing all this lovely tick-a-tack, nice little bits, it reduces your space. And then Wolves have gone so far up to you, you then can't get round them. So I think that kind of then would have put pressure onto our forwards to actually make space happen and then play the right decisions, to be honest, as well. It was very negative, wasn't it, all the way that we were passing and playing. And then the end product was just awful yesterday. There was no end product that we could write home about, say there was any good until 90+2 or 90+3.
Well, there was one point when you, in the first half, Udogie went through, and he had a perfect opportunity to either smack the ball across the face of the goal or have a shot, and he took 2 more touches and he got blocked off for a corner. Adrian put up the stat about corners. We had 10 corners. We didn't win one, not one. We didn't even try to play a short one at any stage. They all went into the box. They all got headed out or punched by the goalkeeper. Not one of our corners produced anything of any note to trouble their goalkeeper.
Which is interesting point you bring up, and a good one, because you can tell we've been working on set plays.
Yeah.
The way like we've been crowded on the far post and things. We have worked on. I even seen on the free kick. So Frank is changing things. The coaches are changing things, but this is going to take time. It's his first season.
It is. You say you were working on. I'll go back to throw-ins.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they were pretty bad. They were pretty bad again yesterday. And every time Kudos picks up the ball to take a throw-in, you know it's going short because he hasn't got a long throw.
Yeah.
He's picked it up to do those throws about 4 or 5 times this season. The one time he tried to throw it long, the ball slipped out of his hands and went about 2 yards. Every other time, someone has run back towards him after everyone's gone into the area. Everyone's run back towards him. It's been a short throw again. You know, it's a dummy long throw, which is fair enough, but people are going to cotton onto it soon enough.
I don't know if Villa has still got the same coach, but they took a coach from Northern Ireland and they used to do throwing drills. And the rumours at the time when Liverpool won the league, they used to do throwing drills as well. I remember talking to Chris Cowlin about this in the Gilbert Girl once, and he laughed at me. I said, well, why can't you do throwing drills? You've got to do something. You get 2 players struggle for the ball back in the day. They'll both be grabbing the ball until the linesman or referee give the decision one way or another, right? And then you get to take the throw. But when you take the throw, you've now got 9 outfield players to your opponent's 10.
Yeah, but there's no speed again in the
throw-ins. Man up,
is there, so?
It's hard. I think this is why Wenger was going on about having kick-ins rather than throw-ins. It may come in a few, who knows, you know what I mean? But let's ruin the game completely, right? Yeah, so I don't see why you shouldn't have players. You get a throw, whether it's in your third, the middle third, or the final third, where you can't work something out. Right, when we get a throw here, guys, I want you over the back, you run in here, you run in there, right? Because we're not. Because how many times you get a throw in and you lose the ball straight away?
Yeah, the biggest point in question on that was yesterday. I think we were in the added time. Porro got the ball for a throw-in on the far side. Nothing was happening. He must have held on to that ball for 30. If we'd been in a winning position, he would have been booked for time wasting. You know, it was just so poor. There was no one. They just didn't seem to know what to do. How are you going to run to create space? You know, we don't throw the ball down the line. You know, when
No,
you're
that's the thing. We should be aiming to play it forward. If you're in your own half, okay, I understand if you're going to go square or go back. But if you're in the Wolves half, you play it forward to, and I
you
would
get another
be
throw in.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, you want your players. If you're taking the throw in, you should be shouting at your teammates, "Get the hell forward! Make space for me! Don't just stand there like a prize prat and all that." And that's what I've. At least with Danso, when he does it, he's quite a big guy. You wouldn't mess with him, but he always literally before he throws it. If you look at him, he takes the overhead, but he's using his fingers, going like forward. But other guys, when they're doing it, we were so redundant yesterday with all of our set plays.
With everything. I mean, you know, and you're right. And Adrian knows that throw-ins have been a bugbear of mine for ages.
And mine.
I mean, when you look at it, to be fair, Villa have Austin McPhee, who is their he was their set piece coach, and he was the one that you was talking about, Adrian. We've obviously got Gorgonson, and we've had Giovanni Vio before, haven't we? He's now at Watford, and all of these are very good set piece coaches, and they have these logbooks of them where you have attacking plays and defensive plays, and defensively we see. Before yesterday, I would have said we was much better at defending corners, but obviously they scored as a result of a set piece or a set play, so it doesn't really help us. But we've scored a lot from set plays, and when you're actually sitting in the stadium now, if you look at the technical area, when a set play happens, Frank disappears, and Gorgonson is standing there directing it. But I didn't see that yesterday. There was nothing.
Still doing it yesterday. He was still standing out there, but there just didn't seem to be any dynamism with it at all.
But what can we do? We realistically know we wasn't good yesterday, but we still salvaged a point. So it's not all doom and gloom. There's a learning curve, but realistically, I would have liked us to turn Tottenham into a fortress this year to win all of these goals or win these games, or at least not lose games there. So I guess we're doing a little bit better, but I think there is still a lot of room for improvement. But it's what we said before the season started. We knew it wasn't going to be all hunky-dory, but we are getting better, I would say, compared to other areas last year. They're Cochrane, Lewis, Gorgonson, Atwell, and all the other
Fabianotti, the goalkeeping coach.
Yeah, Otti. All of these have been working, and if anything, I feel sorry for Otti because I don't think he's got much hope with Vicario. To be honest, I don't think he will change. But realistically, the coaching setup is much better than having Mile Jedinak, Sergio Raimondo, and Nick Montgomery, who are literally really bad, and you can see that they're having no effect whatsoever at Forest either at the moment. So I'm hoping that by us working on these things and drumming it into the players, we'll either see players taking to it or they'll be shipped out. Simple as that.
Yeah. I mean, we can come on to that in a bit. Just want to give the channel a quick plug. It's over 60 of you viewing us on various platforms. Thank you for your support. It's much appreciated. Our shows go out every Friday. Drew Zilla hosts with me at 10 o'clock. On Sundays, it's a 10 o'clock audience, usually with Ian and me and Tom, Kev's son. And on Tuesday or Wednesday, but it's going to be Wednesday this week because we're playing Bodo Tuesday, so we do a post-match this Wednesday. But that'll be at 9 o'clock, a bit earlier, because it's midweek and we know you guys have got to get up for work. Well, those of you in the UK have anyway, right? We've started a Discord channel, guys. So basically, if you download Discord, if you've never heard of it, all you need to do is put your username and email in there. We can send you an invite. And the advantage of that is, well, on Discord, you can chat in the various channels I've set up. You can voice chat if you want to, and you can voice chat and even go on camera. So it's better than WhatsApp when you get people argue because they misconstrue what someone types in the text and they take it the wrong way. At least if you've got someone actually speaking to you, you know that what their true intentions and purposes are. Right, so the link for that is scroll right up, is here. Right, so if you're watching on playback or whatever, down the bottom. That's the Discord link. But first, before you click on that link, you need to download Discord. If you're not a gamer, most gamers know what Discord is anyway, or Ventrello, TeamSpeak, things like that. But if you'll know, you just join it, right? We're doing all right. We've got 20 in here. We only put it up 3 days ago, right? So, and I added it to my other gaming server because I've been guilty of playing games as well, as we all do, right? So, so there's Discord if you're interested in that. We have got a Facebook group of 14,500, which I started in 2019 when the stadium opened. We've got a Facebook page. You can find us on XCOM as well. Spurs Dials on there as well if you use that. With that, I'm just going to thank everyone for posting their comments and asking us questions, and all of you that are watching us now on various platforms. And a big up to everyone who watches us on playback. With that, we will get back to the banners. We haven't got much more to cover. Click on down now. Where are we? And I've got to lose this one first, so let's lose it. Right. Nice, easy question for both you now, right? And you know I'm smiling because it isn't easy, right? So, Kev, where are the goals coming from, mate?
You're a dick. You are such a dick.
Let's see. I think they're coming from. People are saying Simmons didn't work in the middle when he moved across to the middle yesterday, but he didn't really have a lot of time. He had about 10 minutes, didn't he, in the middle? It could come that way, but at the moment, until I think we get Solanke back, it's very hard because, as we've said before, Richarlison just isn't doing it, is he? And he doesn't look like he's going to be doing it. Midfield aren't yet really contributing to the goals
because he can't do it
from Palhinha. Yeah. So the Palhinha had a similar shot to the one he scored from a bit earlier in that second half, but he put it high and over the bar, and he kept this second one down low. So he'd obviously learned in that respect. But we need back Post Johnson back on the field. I think that's where they come from, aren't they?
Callum, I mean, when you go back, I mean, I know that City won 7 of the last Premier Leagues. And I think in 2 or 3 of those occasions, they scored 100 goals. I think last year it was 86. I think we scored 86 when we finished second to Chelsea. We actually scored 1 more goal than them and conceded 1 less goal. You couldn't make it up, but it's Spurs, isn't it? So, yeah. But to score 86 goals, right? I mean, like, we need to bring 2 strikers in. I mean, I think Solanke did okay for his first season at a new club last season. To score 15 goals, and it's 8 league goals and 7 in various cup competitions. I think he did okay. But if he don't smash it between now and January, he'll be back either maybe Leeds away or after the international break. If he don't show signs of now, we're going to be looking at bringing in at least 2 strikers. I mean, because we don't even know what we're going to get from Moani yet. He did well in Germany. But we don't know. I mean, like, he's got a dead leg. Fans are getting on, he's got a dead leg. Then I heard a rumour he's got a bleeding dead leg. Well, I don't know what a bleeding dead leg is, unless it's very bad bruising or something. I mean, there are dead legs and dead legs. You can get over a slight dead leg quite quickly.
I think that's a fan reaction, ain't it? He's got bloody dead legs, something like that sort of thing. But no, I mean, I think we've got enough goals in this team. It's just got to be shipped around. And I know from what I've heard that the club we know they want to get rid of Richarlison. They wanted rid of him in the summer, and he turned down the moves.
Good.
We know that the club view Lancashire as having a very big future. I wouldn't be opposed if he continues doing well to potentially bring him back in January.
He's got 3 in 7 games at the moment. He's doing okay.
Yeah, so he's not doing bad. Solanke, I have faith in, because even if he doesn't score, he will assist, because he got quite a few assists last year with his hold-up play. I think that is a good aspect of his game. Moani, he did all right in Italy for 6 months. He did all right in Germany. He was crap for PSG, but I think that so many players have been like that for PSG. Ekitike was like that, and now look at him, he's scoring for fun at Liverpool. So no, I realistically think that they want Richie out and they'll try and get Kane back next summer, probably. Moani's a stopgap, if anything, because if he was going to be a long-term option, they'd negotiate. When do they ever do loan deals without negotiating options if he ain't going to have a future at the club? I think he was more an opportunity because of the injury to Maddison and Decky and Solanke. If anything, just to cover a number.
More of an opportunity loan deal because Juventus kept faffing about paying the money to PSG.
Well, exactly.
So we get him. Now it's a question of whether, we should definitely sign Polina up, right? Definitely. But I think it's more a question of like seeing how he goes, whether he sort of falls in love with the club or likes it here, which is going to be dependent on him scoring goals anyway. And then he might think, I'd rather stay at Spurs than go back to PSG or end up going to Juventus or elsewhere.
And it's down to Spurs whether they rate him at the moment. And realistically, he's been unavailable for a month now. If we look at it based on purely time, the window closed, the 2nd of September, something like that. So he is at 26 days where he's been at Spurs and he's not been available, apart from 4 minutes against the Yellow Submarine. And he's ended up getting got a booking, showed how unfit he was, and has got a dead leg from Sarr in training. So realistically, we are short in the front line. I still think that Johnson can do a job up there. I mean, Mr. Beehive has said that we don't. You're not having Thiago. I mean, to be honest, Thiago has had one good game in a Brentford shirt, and that was yesterday against Man United. Anyone can have a good game against Man United, to be honest, and still come away with at least 8 points from them. And that's why Amorim is potentially going to get sacked. Let's put it that way. And we have enough goals in the squad. And we've proven that because all the goals have come from midfield or defence at the moment and a few from up top. I think that Kudus just needs to get his shooting boots on. I think he can score goals. Simmons has proven that he can score goals in Europe. Johnson was our top scorer last year. So it's going to be...
On that, can we take anything from Johnson scoring a goal through the middle against Doncaster, or it was only Doncaster?
Well, no, he's done it twice this season. I mean, because he did it in another game as well, and running through onto a ball that was played through the middle. And we've always said he's more of an inside forward than he is a winger. And he plays there for Wales, doesn't he? You know,
it don't help though.
Are we using him properly?
It don't help on the Wales front, though, because literally Wales fans absolutely hate him, to be fair. But Wales are pretty shit. No offence to Wales. They're just, their team is awful. But realistically, we know that Johnson has scored goals against Burnley. He's scored against City. He's scored against Doncaster. We kind of say that when he's not playing well, we see all the negatives. But when he does score, he impacts games and he does either get the winner or he does a turnover or something like that. So what's the worst that could happen? Because we know that Richie has had 4 seasons now and he hasn't done anything to justify being a number 9 for us or a number 9 for Brazil. Realistically, he is a squad option, and that's an expensive squad option if we're really looking at figures. I know 60 million now is little, but back then it was like our club record fee, wasn't it? Or close to our club record fee. So no, I think we've got the goals there. We've just got to find ways of unlocking stuff. And that's down to Frank and Justin Cochrane, because obviously Matt Wells ain't going to have any input on it. He's the defensive coach. Gorgonson will, as set-piece coach. Cochrane will, because he leads all stuff sort of technical-based and for attacking-based. Chris Haslam will do the data analysis on it. And Frank has to get out this idea of saying that Richie is his starting number 9. Because it doesn't work. And I mean, if he says, I'm going to play Tell up there, well, no. Tell play on the left, or you play him as a second striker. You try and do overloads in there, but then we just got to be more dynamic and have more creativity about it to get the goals flowing, don't we? And I know we're going to cover probably Bodo either tonight or on Tuesday, but I think to give someone else
after the
Wednesday,
game.
so I know you'll cover. No, but I know you'll probably do a preview Tuesday, won't you?
No.
Really?
We'll do the show Wednesday after the game, because doing the previews you don't get too much to talk about, whereas after
Fair
the game
enough.
you've got the whole game to talk about.
Yeah.
Kev, before we close and go through the chat and all that, I don't want to keep you guys up late for work, but dysfunctional front three. Now people are saying that we get quite reaction as Spurs fans, which is normal for us anyway. But Simmons on the left, he shouldn't play it, he should play as a 10. Now, I think this is a reaction mainly because we were poor against Wolves. And my own take on it, I've seen a lot of Xavi Simmons, and he can disappear from some games. But when he's on song, he can play on the left, he can play through the middle. I mean, I think he's that good, right? All right, he's yet to show it to other fans who haven't seen enough of him as I have, even for Holland, and that he scored against us, didn't he? When England, I just think I get the reaction. Because we're all desperate for solutions when things ain't, ticking over the way we'd like them to be and working perfectly. But, and it should be we should be picking from a front six, not a front three, anyway, shouldn't we?
Yeah, well, I think we've been through this, haven't we? As we've been talking about, we don't. No one really rates Richarlison anymore. Kudus is okay, but perhaps he's not always playing the ball when he should be playing, or he's not trying to find the space. And yeah, Simmons. Well, he you can tell he's good just when he takes the ball and when he moves it, and when he runs across the front of the area, you say, shoot. The opportunity just isn't being there as well.
Yeah, he will terrify them.
And I think that that's then I've seen the best of him for us is when he's suddenly taken the ball across the field and then taking it across the front of the area and things like that. And that's when he really looks, he's dangerous. He's looking to pick that ball through, but there's no one running for him and things like that. But so yeah, is it dysfunctional? I don't know whether it's dysfunctional at the moment. We just we haven't got the right meld. Sitting there, everyone will say all the wingers are crap. Well, they're not all crap, are they? But it's not quite clicking at the moment up front, no matter who we play there at the moment, it seems. Doesn't matter whether we're playing Simmons on the left or we're playing Tell on the left, even when we bring Odebear in, nothing's really quite working. It worked for the goal yesterday. Suddenly it works on the left-hand side, Odebear, Tell, Sarr, Polina. It worked. And, in that bit, but we were throwing everyone forward at that point as well. We'd gone to a back three almost as well at that point. So, it's frustrating rather than dysfunctional, I think.
It's a work in progress, though. I mean, Richarlison shouldn't be a work in progress, Callum.
No, he shouldn't.
But like, he's got to go. I mean, he's got to go. Basumi's got to go. David's got to go. I mean, before you worry about other players, before you worry about the kids that you may or may not like or think are good enough or not good enough or not ready, But it's just it concerns me because we're all right. As you gave me that banner about how well we've done so far this season to be where we are, which we'd all taken at the beginning of the season, but. It's a concern. We could quite easily drop off. But our saving grace is we are so much more solid defensively. We're so much more solid defensively. So
I think there's so many other teams that can drop off, though. That's the thing. It's realistically, there's so many people slating Tell, slating Odebear, slating Richie, slating Simmons. I mean, there's one big sticking player in the Premier League this year, and that's Florian Wirtz. He's played 7 games for them and has looked so far out of it, and yet we're getting slaughtered for our players and all that. I mean, he's got nothing and he's worth, 130 million? They're going, oh, give him time, give him time. Well, what about giving our players time? And they will adjust and they will do it. And I know people will call me this happy clapper, Levy lover and all that. I know Spurs TV will probably do it as well, which I'm looking forward to. But realistically, our front three will click. And if we had to pick up goals from elsewhere, from Bergvall doing it, Saad doing it, Bentancur, Paulinho, Porro, Udogie, centre-backs, I don't really have a problem with that. As long as we're not... My main thing is not conceding a hell of a lot of goals this year. I'd rather do that and just let goals tick over and do it. Because realistically, we will get at least 2 forwards back in the next month. And barring injury, I mean, ironically, it doesn't look good that we've got 3 strikers at the moment. Richarlison is the one that can stay fit out of them. It doesn't really help us. And I know Kev's sniggering at the moment to that comment, but he's doing a stopgap for us. We knew that he was never going to be a 20, 25 goal striker in the summer. But realistically, I have hope. I have faith that we will get it. And if we're at least
my favourite saying is hope is not a strategy, right? Hope is not a strategy. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. But realistically, if we're grinding games out and we're getting results, we will have to take some crap results on the chin, realistically. And we know our forward line have not been all clicking because they're getting changed every week, aren't they? We're playing Kudus and Simmons, Kudus and Johnson, Kudus, Tell, Richarlison. So once we know what our what we've got for the Premier League, what we've got for the Champions League, what we've got for the Carabao Cup, once we know what players we've got in there, I think we'll start seeing patterns and start seeing different options. But realistically, at the moment, and it's what we all praised Frank about the other night, we don't know what team's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. But the front line is probably one of the mainstays that needs to remain there because all of our players are either out of form, in between form, or are here and thereabouts. So we need to have them all playing at least 30 to 40 minutes per game, getting into a rhythm. I don't think they've had the chance to do that at the moment. And the strikers the front line have to score goals. Brett has said as well, if we lose to Leeds and Sunderland, then we need to start to worry. Well, no, Sunderland for some reason are grinding out results and Leeds are just crap. So, I mean, literally, I'm not too fussed about them. I think we've probably played better against them than we did against Wolves yesterday. But what I'm trying to get to the bottom of is that I have faith. And, I think that comment is...
you meant to say Mooney.
I think it meant Moani.
It was meant to be Moani. We won't say on that. But
we don't do politics here.
The gist of it is, I think that our front line will start clicking once we've got a proper recognised striker in it. And then we have the options off the bench to make an impact. So let's have a look and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, wouldn't disagree with that. I mean, also, so it is, when you keep changing the front line, but the fullbacks change as well. So the combination down the 2 flanks changed completely for this game from anything else that we played this season. And so they're still learning what each other can do, aren't they? I mean, realistically. Because when you have Udogie or Spence playing left back, they do different things when they're going forwards, especially. In that time, and Porro's been such a mainstay on the right that Kudus was getting to know him, and then all of a sudden he's got Spence with him. So it's changing it around like that sometimes. Although we say you got to rotate the team, but then the players don't do the same thing because they're different types of players. So it's hard. It's hard on the forwards sometimes to get that coordination between the people behind.
How do you think Spence did yesterday?
I thought he was crap. Yeah. I've always said he's a much better left back than he is a right back. He was not good yesterday at all at right back. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things. Whether it's one of those games for him, but he wasn't good. yesterday.
Colin Sanny, what's your feeling too? Colin, I'm very Spurs centric. I don't really give a shit about what's going on at other clubs, to be honest with you. I really don't. I'm more concerned about how well we're doing. I don't know what the guys' thoughts on that are.
Nah.
And Brett, please.
I didn't even realise.
Let's not fall out on bringing back Basuma, mate, because like he's got to go, right? Him and Richarlison, I'll get rid of them two before I get rid of Davis, right? But that's only my opinion. If you love him, that's different.
I got to the game yesterday. I didn't even realise Potter had been sacked. I hadn't been paying any attention anywhere else until my kids told me.
We as Spurs teams like to tell, obviously. Yeah. I've watched Wirtz. I think he's a fantastic player when I've watched him play in Germany. He looks special. I think he'll come good. I mean, we're waiting on that on Simmons as well. So it's early days. I mean, the pace of this league's, it's so fast that to get used to it. I mean, like we're very critical at high level, but we haven't got the players' line of sight. Pass it, do that. Why don't you give it to him? It's not that easy. Guys, I think we're about at the end here, right? I want to thank my guests for coming on. I want to thank everyone in the chat for your comments and questions. I want to thank everyone who's watching us on various platforms, 70 of you at the moment. But we've just about covered everything. We will be back Wednesday at 9 o'clock UK time, earlier, to discuss the Bodo Glimt game. Hope Porro plays and he can chip the keeper again for distance. Yeah, and that would be fun. So all good. And we're obviously, you can find us every Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, depending on whether we're playing these midweek games. If we end up playing on a Wednesday, then we might do a show on a Thursday. Who knows? Or we might do the preview before that. Who knows yet? But it's Tuesday or Wednesdays usually, Fridays and Sundays. Okay. So with that, I want to thank you guys. Thanks for coming on, and thank you all in the chat. Big up to everyone watches on playback, and I'll play you out with that, and I'll see you guys in the back room.
We are Tottenham till we die. We are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die hard, heart and soul. We are Tottenham till we die. We are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die heart and soul. We are Tottenham till we die. We are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die heart and soul. Lily white and navy blue. Tottenham till we die, we are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die heart and soul. Lily white and navy blue. Tottenham till we die, we are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die heart and soul. We are Tottenham till we die, we are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die heart and soul. We are Tottenham till we die, we are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die heart and soul. Lily white and navy blue. We are Tottenham till we die. We are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die heart and soul. Lily white and navy blue. We are Tottenham till we die. We are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die heart and soul. Lily white and navy blue.